I'm back with the sports romance. I was sold from there. But you know, when you break up with somebody and it's not really a good breakup, they kind of become an enemy for a little bit. So, and boy, am I glad that I did. I'm a sucker for second chance romances. It's really giving the treasure hunt, like I said, but without the treasure. Because it was my first Colleen Hoover book. Shh, don't tell nobody. Hello, chapter bestie. Welcome back to another video. For those who don't know, my name is Angie. I'm primarily a romance and psychological thriller reader. We are here today on this video to talk about my July reading wrap up. We read 11 books, 3,860 pages, 10 romances, and 1 thriller for the month of July 2024. So stick around and check out my reviews for the books that I read. So I actually wanted to jump on and talk about the books that I'm reading for the month of July as I'm reading them, because your girl be forgetting sometimes what the heck I be reading. Like, I don't even know what's going on sometimes. So by the time I get to the end of the month, the recap is not really that great, because I have not, when you're reading 8 to 9 books a month, it's kind of hard to just keep them what belongs where, what belongs here and there, and whatever the case may be. So I decided I'm gonna beat the system with my little old self. I'm going to film my review as I read it, but I do have to go back because I just decided to do that now. So here we are. So let's see. I started July out with with lipstick and camera clicks, and I did a whole video on that, so my review for that is not going to be like in depth on here. So I'll just like link that video to, you know, this video up in the corner somewhere, whatever corner it is. But one thing that I did love about lipstick and camera clicks was that the male main there was 2 male main characters, because it was kind of a love triangle, but all of the characters were very, very likable, and that's kind of hard in some books, especially romance, because sometimes somebody is going to be an a-hole. And I loved all the characters in this book. Even what was his name? Cade. He was, yeah. But Cade, Ryan, and River, I loved them. And even the supporting characters, Cade, Indigo, and River. Ryan was a supportive character, River's sister. But even the supporting characters were really, really good. But I loved the forced proximity, because it was like based on a reality show, so she knew the producer of the show or the camera person, whoever, and then she was like a flavor of love type thing with the other guy, Cade, but it's friends to lovers. Like, it was so amazing. But I'll link that review up yonder, because I definitely did do a reading vlog. But we have to talk about The Greek Villa by Sue Roberts, because I did not like it at all. I truly felt like I had just wasted my time. The book didn't feel like romance. It was about, I think it was about like over 80%, maybe 82, 84% in when they actually came together and it became romance. I didn't feel the characters, Dimitri and Claudia, I didn't feel the connection between them. I just felt like it was kind of forced in the last 20% or so of the book. I didn't connect. I didn't believe in their love. I didn't believe that I wasn't sold. Their chemistry just was not there. So I did rate it a 3-star, maybe 3.5. This is like the first romance book this year that I just did not connect to the characters. Like, it didn't make me go like and give me all the feels and good vibes and stuff. It just didn't do that for me. Now, do I want to visit Greece one day? Absolutely, because the description was amazing, but that's as far as it went. So The Greek Villa by Sue Roberts, it was about Claudia. She comes into an inheritance and she loves Greece and traveling to Greece, and it's set in London, and she loves traveling to Greece, so she wants to buy a house in Greece. So she ends up getting the house with some of her inheritance because her Uncle Jack passed away, and I think that was his name, whatever, I don't even think that really matters, but her uncle passes away, and she gets a lot of money to buy this house in Greece. But the house is a fixer-upper. It's a straight dump. She runs into issues with there. And while she's there, she meets Dimitri, who is her builder. And so they fall in love, I guess. Or like they start liking each other. And they're supposed to have this chemistry that I did not feel in the book. So that's the premise of that book. And yes, I definitely give it a 3.5 star. I did not feel the vibe of the characters. I did not feel the romance of the characters. I did not feel anything. Like, I felt like it was forced. It was about 80% into the book before they actually even really got together and showed the love and stuff. And even then, I really did not feel the love in the connection between these characters. But that's the synopsis of it. And the crazy part about it is she didn't want to fall in like with Dimitri because all of the people around her, with the exception of her parents, they were going through something. Like, her best friend was going through something in her marriage, her brother was going through something in his marriage. So it was like all the people around her, and then her friend that she met in Greece, I don't want to tell it, but something happened with the next door neighbor. Like, it was a lot going on. So I can understand why she might have felt like love may not be for me because all these people are going through things. But girl, you were too old. Like, you're in your 30s. You should know that every relationship is different and unique. Okay, so then after the Greek villa, I read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther, and I definitely gave it, oh, I didn't even write it down. I gave it a 4 star. And it was romance. It's young adult. I don't know what is up with me. What is up with me and these young adult books for the month of July, but I don't know. But the only thing that I did not like about The Summer of Broken Rules was there was a lot of characters. So The Summer of Broken Rules, in summary, is about a girl. Her name is, what was that child's name? Meredith. I should know from Grey's Anatomy, right? Her name is Meredith, and she is going through a breakup. She's 18 years old. She's going through a breakup, and then her sister passed away, and they kind of left how she passed away as a mystery in the book, so I'm not going to give that away. I'll just let you go read it and figure, get it from there. But she is dealing with grief. Something heavy, something serious, because her and her sister were super duper close, and she's dealing with a breakup. And so her cousin is getting married, and it's kind of like set in Martha's Vineyard. This was a dope book, set in Martha's Vineyard, and her grandparents, like, they have like a lot of land, and so they play this game for a week called Assassin, where you get a card with a family member's name on it, and you shoot them with a water gun to take them out, and they're terminated from the game. And then at the end, they have this big grand kind of the Hunger Games, type of vibe. So it was really fun. It was just a lot of damn characters. I don't know. It's hard to keep up sometimes. And so that's the premise of it. So in this The Summer of Broken Rules, because I heard a review saying there was not one rule broken, but the rule was she wasn't supposed to go and fall in love because fall in like or whatever, because she had just got out of this relationship. She was just supposed to have fun and let it be that. But she meets a groomsman, and that's a whole nother thing that unravels in the book that's just like, oh, it does my heart so good. But she meets a groomsman, and their chemistry. Now here's the thing. These 18, 19-year-olds gave me good vibes and all the feels and chemistry, but the Greek villa didn't. I really didn't understand it, but whatever. So yeah, so that's that. So she falls in love for a week, and the romance was cute. I felt it. I felt the energy. I felt the the vibe between them, and it's a really, really cute summer romance book. It is young adult, but I feel like if you're old like me, you can read it and get, you know, get all the feels and juicy vibes from it. But yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all, so I didn't realize that I have not been updating y'all about the books that I've been reading. I think I left off on the 3rd book. So the 4th book that I read in July was An Island Summer by Jenny Hale. And An Island Summer was literally a breath of fresh air. It was like, it gave treasure hunt, but not necessarily treasure hunt. So it follows Megan, and it's based in the plot is set, if y'all hear my lisp, just ignore it. I just put a new tray in, so this is the situation. So anyway, it follows Megan, set in the Outer Banks, and her best friend move from New York to the Outer Banks for the summer, to her grandfather's cottage. So I think he died 10 years prior to the beginning of this book, and so she goes back to his cottage. She's kind of trying to find herself, find what's going on with her life, because the restaurant that she was working at as a waitress, she wants to be a chef. Like, she can really, really cook. And so the chef at that job told her like that her cooking sucks and that, you know, she's not chef material. So she kind of is dealing with insecurities and things like that. So she goes to the Outer Banks to her grandfather's cottage. Well, her and her best friend, I think her best friend's name was Tess, they bump into an old man and his grandson Toby. A lot unravels, and the connections between the old man and her family, like, it's just, oh my gosh, it was such a beautiful story. Like, I can't give it away without giving it away. Like, I don't know how to, I'm not really good with not telling spoilers, but yeah, I can't, it just like, so much unravels from that story that it's such a beautiful romance with like so much depth to it. So I definitely highly recommend it. I give it a 5-star rating for sure. And I think the tropes may be, I don't know what the tropes would be for that, but it's really, really good, so go check it out. I think like there's a lot of secrets uncovered in this book. And it's not like secrets that can harm people, but it could, you know, if you're not a person that handles things very well. But the secrets are like, it's really giving the treasure hunt, like I said, but without the treasure. So yeah. So the 5th book that I read was Play Along by Liz Tomforde. I think it's the 4th book in the Windy City series. So that's one of my favorite series. And this wasn't on my July TBR, but when I realized it was coming out July 11th, I'm like, finish up your book. Don't start nothing from your July TBR. Pick this up and read it. And boy, am I glad that I did. The tropes were, I give it 5 stars. The tropes were forced proximity, I would say, and forced proximity. I would say friends to lovers too, because I feel like they did build a friendship. I would say, yeah, those two. But anyway, it's the 4th installment in the book, and it follows Isaiah and Kennedy. Isaiah is Kai's little brother. Kai is the main male character from the 3rd book. I think it's Caught Up. And so he's a shortstop for the Chicago baseball team. And Kennedy, she is a athletic trainer, but her credentials are super duper high. Like, she doesn't need to be being an athletic trainer. Like, the head doctor, he's sexist and everything like that. So she's dealing with a lot of that. But I love the book. I love how Liz, she starts off 3 years prior of how they actually really met. I was sold from there. I don't know, like, it just did something to me. I was sold from the beginning when they did the 3 years prior and showed how they met. So Isaiah, he's basically in love with this Kennedy, like, and Kennedy is not paying him any attention because she's a woman. She's already dealing with the sexist boss. She's like, I'm not getting involved with any of you players. Like, it's just not going to happen. She doesn't go out with them. She does nothing to them. Well, Isaiah and Kennedy end up in Vegas. Her for her trash sister's bachelorette party. I'm not going to tell the tea on that. and he was there for a team get together before the season. They end up married. That's on the back of the book. That's where I'll leave it. Obviously, it turns into a friends to lovers things, fake dating. Oh, that's another trope, that it could be fake dating or fake marriage. A1 book. Definitely go check it out. Okay, so the 6th book that I read was Excuse Me While Ugly Cry by Goffney. I think I rated this a 4-star. I don't remember. It's either 4.5. So it's young adult. I don't know what is up with me reading a lot of young adults in July, but it was really weird. Reading it as a 36-year-old is kind of strange, but it kind of takes you back and you remember some of the things. So Quinn, it follows Quinn. She's an 18-year-old senior and she's half my age now, so I can remember when I was 18 years old and all the feelings that I had. So anyway, Quinn, 18-year-old senior in high school, she ends up losing her journal that has all the tea in it. And the one thing that I loved about this book is it listed the things. So like, she had a list in her journal, things to do before college, things that I would love to do to Matt, or people that I would love to kiss. In her journal is in like list form, and I thought it was so dope and cool that the writer did that. And I just absolutely like, and then in the book she would say things I didn't know about my mom, or things that I learned about my dad, or something like that. I thought that was really, really dope. But anyway, Quinn, she loses this journal and somebody ends up finding it, and she ends up getting blackmailed into completing her to-do list. I'm not going to share what's on the to-do list, but it's some hard things on there, some hard things that she has to do, and some things and some secrets that she has to share with her parents, with her friends. Like, it's crazy. But that's really the premise of the book. But I loved watching Quinn's character development. By the end of it, in the beginning she was very timid and needed a lot of self-assurance, but by the end she was like, she knew what she wanted and she knew how to get it done. And I really loved that character transition for her. So the only thing that I didn't like about the book is I really wish I could have seen Quinn and Carter. I love their little cute romance. I wish I could have saw them like 5 years later, because I feel like they're going to be a version of her parents and how her parents were. It dealt with race very, very heavily, and just being a black girl growing up in a white neighborhood, going to a predominantly white school, which I can relate to very strongly, because black people didn't start coming into my neighborhood until I was about like in the 8th grade. So I like, Hess complex was predominantly white when I was going to school in New Jersey. So I understand, like, the hair, people you know, wanting to touch your hair and just, you know, not understanding that, and just everything that she experienced. And her parents, her dad was kind of uppity black, you know, very uppity black. And so I kind of feel like with their career paths, I don't know, I just really wish I had saw them 5 years later. So Joya, if you're out there, can we please, pretty please, if it's just for me, can we please see where they're at in 5 years? I would love to see it. But I, you know, I really can go with my own imagination with that. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, I love the self-discovery. I love the racism, and you know, that stuff was not overdone. It was just enough. And for people that grew up in white neighborhoods and went to predominantly white schools, you understand and you could feel everything that she was going through, even down to her having a crush on a white boy at one point. Like, if that's all you know, that's all you know. Even another thing to journaling, Carter said something to her about her journal becoming who she is, and how when we write in our journal, like, we're writing our insecurities, our fears, and all that stuff, instead of dealing with them head on. And so that kind of went up here, and like started thinking like, dang, maybe should I have conversations with people that I'm writing about in my journal, because I'm an avid journal writer. So I write down all my feelings, my insecurities, all that stuff. So am I like just putting a band-aid over it by writing in it, or am I really going to go out and do something about it and conquer those fears and have those conversations that I should have? So it kind of made you think too. Okay, so I have another review updating. I'm a little behind on my updates. It's The Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. It was 5-star for me. It follows Aaliyah. I'm not gonna do a full review because I have a whole separate review either coming after this video or sometime in the near future. But Curvy Girl Summer follows Aaliyah. She is suffering with grief. People talking about, you know, her body, her shape, her size. She is going through her dating life is pretty much trash. So she ends up getting on a dating website, and her dates are at this bar. Her first dates for, you know, this dating website is at this bar where she meets Ahmad, the bartender. Her and Ahmad, they have such good chemistry. They're very similar in the things that they're going through in their life, even down to like their careers. And they just kind of fall for each other, and it kind of unravels from there. Definitely 5-star read. It gave all the good feels. I absolutely loved it, but for more in-depth review, I have another video coming for Curvy Girl Summer. Okay, so then I read The Plot Twist by Victoria Walters. It was really good. It has a 3.84-star rating on Goodreads. Not really sure why. I loved it. Set in London, and it follows Stevie and Noah, and Stevie and Noah are exes. And so Noah just abruptly dumps Stevie, but you'll find out in the book. And she ends up taking a job, like her dream job, well, not a dream job, but like at a publishing company. And Noah is her boss, her ex. So obviously some forced proximity in there. Is friends to, or in kind of, you know, I don't want to say enemies to lovers, but you know, when you break up with somebody and it's not really a good breakup, they kind of become an enemy for a little bit. So they definitely, you see it unravel. You see all the things that they went through, and you kind of see them fall back. It's a second chance romance, and y'all know I'm a sucker for second chance romances. But yeah, that was really, really good. Like I said, they're bookworms too, and I love reading books and seeing the characters in the books actually being bookworms too. So it's so cute. It's such a cute story. So the 9th book that I read in July was Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, which was amazing. I'm not going to get into that in depth in here because I have a video for that coming too, because it was my first Colleen Hoover book. Shh, don't tell nobody. But Reminders of Him was a good way to start off with her, because she gets so much negative feedback for promoting toxicity, I guess. I didn't see any toxicity in it. It follows Kenna. She just got out of a 5-year prison sentence. It's a lot of misunderstandings. It's a lot of forgiveness. It's a lot of romance in here. It's a lot of a mother fighting to see her child. Like, it was so good. Definitely 5 stars. I would definitely read that story again, and just watching how things unfold. Then the next book I read a lot of books this month. The next book that I read was Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This has been on my TBR for a while, but for some reason I wanted to back away a little bit from sports romances and get into, like, you know, regular romance. And I'm back with the sports romance. This was good. It's a hockey romance. It follows, what's the child's name? I literally just finished it today. This is why I like to update as I go, because I just don't be remembering stuff sometimes. I did rate it 4 stars though. It's forced proximity. It follows Jamie, that's the male main character's name, and the female main character's name, her name is Pippa. So it follows Pippa and Jamie. They know each other from back in the day, and so she ends up being his assistant because he's new to Vancouver, because he's dealing with some things that you'll see in the book or read in the book. She's dealing with some things, a bad breakup, and they kind of just find their way back to each other. She becomes his assistant, and now it's a forced proximity. She's living in a house with him. It's a dog involved. I'm scared of dogs. I don't like dogs, so I didn't really care about that part, but it's a dog involved. She's walking a dog. They go on walks, you know, they start going out as friends, and then naturally comes to find out, you know, they have a little bit of history that neither one of them even knew about each other. So that's how their love story unravels. I think I would consider it second chance romance, even though they were never together, but you still get a second chance at loving your person, the person that you've always loved and always wanted. So second chance, definitely forced proximity, and yeah, we'll see what I get into next. Okay guys, so I just finished the book Stranded by Sarah Goodwin, and I had to unpack it a little bit. I think I'm going to go with a 4-star rating. It follows Maddie. Basically, her and 7 others, they go out on this island, and they basically get stranded out there. It's kind of like a castaway situation where they are supposed to, it's like a social experiment for a show, and it's her and 7 others, 4 men, 4 women. They go out there for 12 months, but they're stranded. The boat never comes back and gets them. So it's a story of survival. It's a lot of suspense. The only reason why I didn't give it 5-star because I wasn't too keen on the ending, unless I just misunderstood it, but it was a page turner for sure. It was a page turner. It just didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but I definitely recommend it if you want to check it out. It's like I said, it's going to keep your attention, but it might not shock you in the end per se. So that's that. I have a whole reading vlog coming out on that, so you can stick around later for that. Make sure you subscribe and get into it. And yeah, all right, chapter bestie, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the recap. Let me know if you read any of these books, what you felt about some of these books, and if you plan to read the books. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much for your support. I hope you subscribed and you liked what you saw. I'll see you guys all in the next video.